Good morning, everyone. You know, it seems there was this school teacher, and during one of her classes, she had taught that a whale couldn't swallow a whole person, a human being, because apparently whales have small throats and it wouldn't work. So there was this little girl at the back of the class. She raised her hand and said, "Yeah, but you know, the Bible says that Jonah was swallowed by a whale." And teacher kind of looked at her and kind of chuckled and said, "Yeah, well, you know what? That's impossible." So the little girl said, "Well, you know, when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask him if that's true." And the teacher responded and just said, "Well, what if Jonah was a sinner and he didn't make it to heaven?" The little girl thought for a while and says, "Well, then you can ask him." All right, it's a good start. Clean joke. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to this. It's good to see everyone. Yeah, we're making it through this brutal winter. That's pretty cool. There was a lot of traffic here this morning. Did you guys run into that? I thought everybody was working from home. You see, I mean, so, all right, this is our first breakfast meeting for this year. So once again, welcome. My name is Mike Cipineri. I'll be the MC for this morning. And I'll cover a few things, but the first thing I always ask is, how was your breakfast? All right. And the wait staff, how'd they do? Treat you good? Yeah, you guys take a bow, Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, San Marino's been our home base, I think, for like 14, 15 years. So, you know, I mean, we're synonymous with San Marino. So they treat us good. So thank you very much for that. Also, this is, like I said, it's our first breakfast meeting for this year, but it's our 59th straight in-person breakfast meeting since we started in 2008. I think that's amazing that you guys have continued to support this. You know, we've been through little disruptions like, you know, COVID, you know, but we made it through that. So anyways, all right, I think we have about 100 members that signed up that are here today that attend in person. I think we have about another 20 on the webinar that's attending this meeting. So good for that. So let me just go through a few things real quick. I'll try to go real quick. Please keep visiting our website, www.ncro.org. It's very user-friendly. It was redone about 3 years ago, I think. It's colorful, it's useful, it's fresh, and it covers a lot more information than just Chrysler-related information. So please continue to visit that. Also, there's this little button at the top that says Members Only, and you can press that, and you can update your own personal information, like addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and stuff. So please take, you know, all you need for that is your last name, correct spelling of your last name, and your NCRO ID number. So if you can do that, just keep the personal information up to date. And if you don't want to do that, just call our office and we'll do it for you. So that works too. Thank you to everyone for paying their 2026 membership dues on time, most of you. So pretty good. So no, it was good. So thanks for doing that. And I think the second invoice mailing just recently went out, you know, for those people that didn't receive the first one. So so we're getting some responses from that. So so yeah, thanks for doing that. And also thank you for those who contributed to our CAF, the Contingency Action Fund. That's kind of our savings account. So please, thank you for that. Also, as a member, remember, you're also automatically a member of the NRLN, National Retirees Legislative Network. You are automatically a member of that by paying your NCRO dues. But NRLN is always open to additional contributions. So if you go to their website, nrln.org, and you can contribute there if you wish. Let me see. Okay. I think the last thing we have is our guests today. We have members or representatives from dealerships who advertise on our website, our retiree-friendly dealership. And I'm going to invite all of you to maybe stand up, introduce yourself, give us a sales pitch. If you got any freebies you want to throw in there for any of us, that's good too. So go ahead.
We good? There we go. Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm Mike Golling from Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You'll meet a couple of my other general managers as well. And Mike came to me earlier and said, you know, we've also got a representative from Rochester Hills here. And he said, you know, get up, you know, try to do a sales pitch, try to sell some cars, do one car, get another one free. So congratulations. Mike will handle the second buying of the car for you. So thank you very much. So,
I think the dues just went up.
please make sure you pay on time. Send it to him. But just always appreciate being here and happy to see everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Monique Harwood. I am the GM for Golling Grosse Pointe. We are right next door to Canada. Mike said to make it fun. So if you're looking for us, we're on the Far East side. We just had our 1-year anniversary. We're very happy to be part of this organization, and thank you all for having us this morning.
Good morning. I'm Keith Davey. I'm the general manager at Rochester Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Been with Stellantis for about 4 months. Most of my background has been with General Motors, so I'm learning a new world, and I'm enjoying it. Appreciate being here.
Hello, everybody. I wasn't nervous until I heard there's people on the webinar as well, too. I was pretty good with that. You know, I'm not much for public speaking, but my name is Dustin Marich, and I'm the general manager and new car sales manager over at Golling Chrysler in Chelsea, Michigan. By a quick show of hands, anybody work at the Proving Grounds?
Yeah, I did.
Nobody?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a few of us. All right, excellent. All the rest of you guys work over at the towers? Yeah, there you go. All right, very nice. Now, I want to do my best not to get up here and sell everybody. You guys have done enough of that over the years working at dealerships, and that's the last thing that you want to hear. But just know that Golling Chrysler, our slogan is always there for you. They take that very serious too. But I was originally going to open up, and I know that the ownership's here, so I can't do any little Johnny jokes, but I'll just end with that. I appreciate everybody being here and inviting us out.
Just to add to it, Bill always signs up for the webinar.
No, thank you for that. And everyone, if you have an opportunity, please support these dealerships that, you know, like I said, they advertise on our website and they're a source of revenue for us. So if anything that we can do to help them out, please do if you can. Okay, so let me just go through our agenda real quick. When I'm done here, our opening remarks will be by Jay Cooney, our president. Then our keynote speaker this morning is Mark Trussell from Design Office, and he'll be on for about 30 to 45 minutes, somewhere on that. And then we'll open it up to Q&A, and we should have you out of here by like noon, 12:15. So with that, Jay.
Good morning. I'd like to add my welcome to Mike's. To those of you who have stayed, how many of you guys have come back? I'll go backwards. How many of you guys have come back from Florida early, or Arizona or Texas or anybody? Mike has. Yeah, Mike came back Monday. But then you are the whole group that just weathered that stupid winter we've had. Gosh. I think, well, shh. We're not done yet. I don't know about that one. But yeah, I just think that I think January 2nd, I was done with winter. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's yeah. Welcome again. I added to Mike's welcome to you guys, and to those of you who are online. Appreciate you coming again and continuing to support us. One of the things I wanted to say to the dealers, and we appreciate you guys coming. For those of us who are sales and marketing people who were close to the dealers all our lives, we thank you, because there were years that you kept us alive, and oftentimes the only reason why we are still a company is because of the dealers and what they did for us. So I appreciate that, and Thank you very much. Appreciate it for coming. I think we might have screwed up some people. We generally have this in February, and I don't know if we messed up people saying we had it in March, but we had a couple of things that happened to us, and I won't say that, but a few people weren't around in February. They might have been on vacation in Arizona and Hawaii. So we had to move it to March. So we apologize for that. I'm going to try to keep the guys in town next year so we don't have to be in March. So that means that the next meeting will be June instead of May. So stay tuned. You're going to like the speaker. I think I won't tell you who it is, but hopefully we will have the speaker there. And am I supposed to touch this one? Good. I'm going to try to be quick because I want to give Mark as much time as he can have, and you don't really need to listen to me, but I've got three things I want to talk to you about. First one is a little bit of sad news. Second one is Medicare fraud, and the third one is NRLN update. The sad news happens to be, I mean, some of you have been here at meetings when Bill Catteright, who's the president of the NRLN, which we are a part of, as Mike said. Unfortunately, Bill's wife passed away the end of last week, and her name is Rose, and Rose has been, unfortunately, she's been ill for several years. And so our condolences have been sent to Bill, and Bill has done so much work for us as an organization and for us as individuals. So if you can keep in your thoughts and prayers, that would be great. The second thing I want to talk about is Medicare fraud. I don't know if anybody here does a lot of follow up on the stuff, but I know that you know that there's so much Medicare fraud going on that it kind of drives everybody crazy. And we sent out an email recently to you that talks about Medicare fraud. I just want to talk a little more about it because I think it's something that we need to do more about. I think we need to know more about if it's happening to us, and then what do you do with it? And I don't know if anybody's looked at their Medicare information that they get from either from Medicare or from if you have a Medigap or Medicare Advantage program or whatever, that tells you what they've paid for. And I don't know if anybody's seen anything that's had some fraud stuff on it. I know people on the board have had stuff up to $20,000 in terms of added to it. So it's something that's very, very important to us. It continues to grow. There's an estimate of like $60 billion of Medicare fraud, and that's 5% of all claims. 5% doesn't seem like a lot, but $60 billion to me seems like a lot of money that we could, if somehow we could save that money, it might cover some other things there. These dishonest healthcare providers submit these billions of dollars of fraudulent claims every year, and they're paid. And unless we alert somebody to them, they just can continue to get paid for. So what we think everybody needs to get closer to it, need to understand it. So what we think you need to do is when you get your information either from Medicare or from your insurance company, you need to go through it and see what's on it, what they're paying for, what they're charging you for. Because you receive these notices and they get paid, and that can have an effect on you as well. So what do you need to do? First of all, you need to read the notices. I know oftentimes, and I know I get the same one. Sometimes I get them, I go, boom, they go into the trash. I don't even take a look at them. So we need to read those. We need to take a look at them and see what's on them, and spend some time with them so you can see what you're being charged for. And make sure that you recognize what's being charged. Are the doctors, are the things that you actually received? And if you see anything funny, you need to contact your insurance company first to see if they paid it and whatever, and to determine if it's a fraudulent claim. And if they can't do anything about it, then you need to contact Medicare, because they need to be alerted to it. The reasons are, it may have an effect on you because it could have copay information that you paid for it because you're in the copay, or you may have other things that it affects what you're paying for. One, and two, long-term, because it's fraud and it means that there's more cost to Medicare, that means the cost of premiums and everything else is going to go up. The frustrating thing, I will tell you, the frustrating thing with some of the people that have done this is sometimes Medicare doesn't seem to care. It'll happen the next time you get it, and there it goes again, you get another charge, almost the same charge for the same thing. So don't let that frustrate you. You got to continue to be vigilant and really, really ask you to do that, to really take a look at the EOBs that you get and see if there's fraud. And if there is, then you need to take action on it. So, and I would tell you, if you aren't getting any action, I would tell you to call us, because I think we would like to know about it, because we'd like to bring it as part of our organization to Medicare and to the people in Washington, so we can try to figure out how we can do more. But we need to be vigilant so people know about it. So do your best if you can. First, before I talk about the NRLN update, I want to tell you that we've been in contact with NCR. The NCRO has been in contact with FCA's HR department, trying to set up some more meetings. There's things we want to talk to them about. We want to see, obviously, the situation with the company, how things are going, and just keep in contact with them. So I've sent some notes to Matt Smith, who's the HR VP, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I will have a meeting with him, and we'll be able to kind of get an update from their organization. And we will either send out an email, part of a newsletter, or, next time we get together in June, I'll kind of give you an update on what's going on between us and the NCRO and the company. But I wanted to talk to you a little about the NRLN, because while it's important for us as the NCRO to work with the company and trying to maintain our benefits and see what we can do to help maybe increase some of those. Frankly, an awful lot of the work that we do on the NRLN is really things that impact you as much or more. Things like Social Security, things like pension protections, and those kind of things. So I thought it'd be interesting to just give you the 2026 agenda items. Interestingly, I woke up one day and I became the Vice President of Legislative Affairs for the NRLN. So I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but it did happen. So this is kind of near and dear to my heart. First of all, the first one is protecting retirees and de-risking. I think we've talked about that for those of you who've been here. And that is something that I think is very, very important for us. What happens, I will do it quickly, if the company decides to de-risk the pensions and sell them to an insurance company, which has happened to Chrysler retirees, two sets, one with Athene, one with Prudential, then you get the same amount of money. You get everything is the same as if it was paid from the company, but it comes from the insurance company. What happens if that insurance company goes out of business? Well, you no longer have PBGC protection, so you have no government protection. It goes to the insurance companies in the States, which in Michigan is $250,000 maximum for a lifetime. So what we have done is we put together legislative language, have it worked in through Congress. I'll tell you that in a second. That protects, that requires a third-party insurance company to protect that other insurance company. So if that insurance company go out of business, then everything would go to the next insurance company and nothing would change in terms of your pensions. Now, Washington. How do I say this? It's more broken than you see in television, just so you know that. And I know that doesn't make you feel any better, but you should go there. No, maybe you shouldn't go there. It may be one of the most frustrating places I've ever been in my life. So we have this all set. We have language. We have many of the senators in the House of Representatives are in agreement with it, but we have been told that 2026 will be a development year to get the legislation put together and whatever, and nothing's going to happen until 2027. So just stay tuned, be patient. It took us 7 years, if you remember, to do the pension overpayment stuff. Took us 7 years. Hopefully this won't take us 7 years and we'll get that done. So that's that one. The next one is protect against Social Security overpayments. Now, I won't go into the whole thing that we did with pension overpayments, but the Social Security does the same thing. They figure they have overpaid people, and there is absolutely no parameters that the Social Security the IRS does. They just collect whatever they want to in order. So we want to do the same thing. We have legislation working to do the same thing we did with pension overpayments, and that's that require 3-year look back. If they don't find it in 3 years, too bad, can't collect. And if they find it, they can collect over 10 years. They can't collect immediately. So we're working on that. The next one is protect seniors with Medicare Advantage or Medigaps if they're terminated. You may or may not have had that happen to you, but there's been over 1 million people have had their Medicare Advantage programs canceled. And there is rules that the companies are supposed to follow, but in fact, they don't really do that. And that's guaranteed issue rights, which means that you have the opportunity to go back and get insurance, the lowest cost insurance that you can get, and there's no underwriting for pre-existing conditions. Unfortunately, what's happening is the individuals that have their insurance canceled, nobody's sending out the letters and nobody's following up on it. So that's another piece that we're working on to make sure that if you do get your insurance canceled, that you can get the lowest price, and they cannot, they must approve you. They can't deny you for coverage. So that's a big one. And then obviously we're trying to work on reducing costs for prescription drugs. And the last one is we're trying to help the Delphi people. Remember the Delphi people that got screwed 16.5 years ago and they're still fighting over? We're working really hard. We're getting very, very close to getting some agreement to get that approved. So the people will get their money back. They'll get their pensions back the way they should have been, and they'll get back pay. So that's something that we've really been working on. So because it's important. Those are people that, you know, I told them that it's interesting, and thank goodness that the NCRO did exist, because at the same time that was going on, we were in bankruptcy as a company. And I've said this to you before, that in fact, the agreement between the old company and the new company with Fiat did not have salaried pensions involved, and we would have been dumped to the PBGC. I wasn't here at the time, but the leadership of the NCRO happened to go to Washington, argued extremely well and successfully that ours were put into the requirement for the renewal of the new company, and Delphi guys got screwed. So unfortunately, fortunately for us, the NCRO existed. Unfortunately for Delphi, they're still fighting after 16.5 years, and they've lost. Some people have lost 70% of their pensions for the last 16.5 years. So it's a big deal. Last one, I just want to thank you guys for what you do for us. We're here to fight for you guys, but we couldn't do that if you guys weren't here and supporting us. So thank you very much on behalf of the board. One thing I will tell you, if you do run into issues, I'm going to do a little commercial right here. If you do run into issues that you don't know how to handle, I know Mr. Adams is here. He raised his hand. He contacted me and had some real issues that he was having trouble figuring out what to do. And our insurance committee, which I'm not exactly sure why it's called insurance committee, but they're a phenomenal group. Mr. Kaiser has helped Mr. Adams, I think, dramatically in a phone call. So if you run into issues with things that you can't get done through Chrysler for Benefit Connect or whatever, please get a hold of us and we'll try to figure out how we can help you guys. So again, thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to Mike.